Today we're talking about crypto and Cbdc's. Before we begin, let's define crypto and Cbdc's. What is cryptocurrency? It is a money that is completely virtual and is neither distributed nor regulated by a centralized government. Did you catch that? It is unregulated and decentralized. It transcends all countries, currencies, and markets. It runs on a distributed ledger technology. Oh yes, it does not require a bank acting like a middleman. The most well-known crypto is Bitcoin, which was established in 2009. What is a Cbdc? It is being developed and tested by many countries around the world. 11 countries have fully launched their digital currency. It is a digital form of a country's fiat currency that is also a claim on that country's central bank. Here in the United States, the Cbdc will be a claim against our central bank, the Federal Reserve. A Cbdc is a smart money. It is programmable, and there are two types, wholesale and retail. The value of a Cbdc will be fixed by the central bank, our Federal Reserve, and equivalent to the country's fiat currency. A Cbdc will allow a central bank a means to implement monetary policies to ensure stability, control growth, and influence inflation. How do things operate today? Here in the U.S., our Federal Reserve is our central bank, and by the way, our Federal Reserve cannot fail because it can print money out of thin air. The Federal Reserve controls all banks in our country. Most countries around the world have their own currency. It is a fiat currency issued by the government, their legal tender, and has no backing of a physical commodity such as gold or silver. The US dollar is still the most used currency in the world today. It is the primary reserve currency for the global economy. It allows the US to borrow money more easily and impose painful financial sanctions on other countries. But this will change in the future, and maybe the immediate future. There are a number of countries considering alternatives to the US dollar. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are working on a common currency in an attempt to abandon the US dollar. So why the push for a Cbdc? Hint, it is all for the bad guy. 130 countries are exploring Cbdc's, and 11 countries have fully launched a digital currency, according to AtlanticCouncil.org. The groundwork is being laid now for a Cbdc program in the U.S., which will become a nationalized banking system. There are only a few good sides to a Cbdc program, so I want to list the bad sides, which are many. This new system of commerce will be universal. It will be compulsory. It will control all commerce. It will control people. A cashless society will be necessary to control all buying and selling. The program will allow the government to surveil all financial transactions, removing the anonymity provided by cash transactions. It would impose limits on transactions, dictating where and when an individual can spend their money. How about this one? The World Economic Forum just published their Cbdc Global Interoperability Principles in a white paper, June of 2023. And the WEF is not acting alone. Their team members include the United Nations, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Health Organization. The Bible talks about a one world currency. I believe we are seeing the beginning steps toward that end. The bad guy, Satan, is behind this cashless society and wants to control the whole world. He is using select people, select organizations, and governments around the world to implement his plan. Revelation 13 describes how it will happen. Let me explain some key verses. In Revelation 13, verses 1 and 2, the beast coming out of the sea is the Antichrist, and we are told that the dragon, Satan, gives the Antichrist his power and his throne and great authority. Next, in verse 11, we see a beast coming out of the earth. This is the false prophet. Now the key verse, verse 16. It, false prophet, also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. The reality is that this will happen during the 7-year tribulation, and that could be in the next few decades. I believe we are in the beginning stages of a CBDC program that will get bigger and better as technology grows. The bad guy can't wait to take over this program and control the whole world. My plea, accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior and escape the 7-year tribulation.